In the summer of 2024, I just dropped out my fourth and final year of university. Yes, I spent 3 years there and I only had 8 months to go, but with the direction my life was heading in, I knew that I had to make a change. I just had to. And while I say that I wasted 3 years of my life, I did gain some valuable lessons throughout my life and a lot of personal growth, and that is how I'm at the school games today, in the winner's mansion, meeting Alex Hormozi tomorrow. It's absolutely insane. I learned a lot about myself, about who I want to be, and definitely who I don't want to be. And alongside, I learned about some ambitions about what I really, truly want life to be about. So, lesson number one. The first lesson I learned is just all about long-term thinking. Because look, the reality is, 4 years of university is a long time to pay a lot of money for just to have a degree, to have a below-average income, and student loan debt, right? The reality is that the long term is going to take ages to pay off, and the life just doesn't look too bright in the future. I learned that the uni life sets you up to fucking suck. Dropping out of uni to focus on entrepreneurship made me realize so quickly that the life you can have just doesn't even compare. Now, once I understand that uni was setting me up much closer to my nightmare life instead of my dream life, I realized how bullshit the system was. Short term, yeah, it was a safer route. Everyone told me to kind of go down it. But long term, the financial gain outside the traditional path, it was absurd. Now, I looked stupid then. Now look at me now. It's absolutely insane. I couldn't be any happier. Alright, lesson number 2 is going to be all about delayed gratification, alright? Like I mentioned earlier, you need the delayed gratification in uni to work hard for the 4 years, for, a little piece of paper at the end to, say, well done, you did it, alright? This actually correlates amazingly in the entrepreneur space as well, because you need to realize that your daily actions will be the results that you get in months or years down the line, alright? 99% of entrepreneurs fail their first business attempt, let alone their first 5. It's the constant perseverance that actually allows you to succeed. I failed so many times in entrepreneurship, whether it was TikTok accounts, gym influencers, SMA, print on demand, fitness coaching, everything. But throughout the entire time of failing these businesses, I already knew, in uni, working towards a goal that only came at the end of the 4 years, so failing and not seeing any progress during it, didn't really matter to me, alright? I could fail and I didn't care because at the end of the day, it was all about long term for uni, just like entrepreneurship. You always have to be ready to put in the consistent hard work daily and not expecting anything in return. To scale a business and become successful over time, you're going to have to suck for a lot of time, for a very long period of time, and just accept it, and that's the reality, alright? Lesson number 3 is all going to be about outworking the competition. Look, with university, I would see guys studying in the library, especially exam season, working 10 plus hours a day, and realistically the results would excel, alright? I always got decent results, but I was never your 90% student. I was your A, mainly B kind of guy, alright? But what I learned is that extra work did go noticed. However, for me, it was always a struggle. Look, uni wasn't my passion, alright? I don't care. But, those that kind of outwork the rest always seem to excel. Like, even my brother, look, he was studying the same thing and he got awards at uni for the best marks in his course. However, he's not really stupid enough to pursue entrepreneurship, so he's never really going to make as much money as me now, and that's just the reality. But, the work that these students, I see them, my brother put in, daily, and not just, 24-hour cramming for the exam, but the daily efforts, the months on end, that made the real difference. So one thing I learned is to be the best, you can't half-ass it, man. Alright, look, you need to really lead the entrepreneur space, and at the end of the day, only the best survive. So daily action's how you win daily. For example, since being in Vegas, I've been here for 3 days and I've only had 6.5 hours of sleep. I don't recommend it, but when you want it, you want it. And those who put in more quality work for prolonged periods of time are gonna get ahead so much faster. Only the strongest and most fittest win, alright? It's a game for everyone. Lesson 4, look, do what you hate to do, but do it like you love it, alright? If you can do something that you hate with full immersion, you're going to eventually start to love it. Look, it's like when people say coffee and beer is an acquired taste and you'll begin to love it over time. Now, the same thing can be said about the gym. I hated it at first, but now I adore it, I hated uni work, and to be fully honest, I hated it for the majority of it. But, seeing the results at the end was always a relief when it paid off, especially for my mom, and it always made it worth it. And that was kind of how I kept somewhat pushing through, although I had such a deep passion of hatred for it. As a man, when you see results, you start to love the process, even if you don't enjoy it. The fulfillment you feel is what really makes you happy, and it's crazy. If I don't want to do cardio after the gym and I finish my weight session, I hit the cardio, and I'm finishing sweaty and out of breath, I feel fulfilled, and that is what really matters to me. Now, many people avoid doing the hard and the tedious things. Not me. I love it. The results bring the enjoyment, and the dopamine that I get from, getting results makes me want to continue. So even if you dislike something initially, by becoming good at it and just persevering, you'll learn to love it, alright? And speaking of this, lesson number 5, discomfort leads to growth. Now, I promise you, during university, the times that sucked the most was when the tests felt hard, the courses were impossible, I had no support, I felt confused, lost, isolated. You get it, alright? But you need these things to occur to grow, During exam season, cramming 14 hours a day were always the ones that actually kind of led to improvements. Once again, don't recommend it, but I was always dragging my feet in the mud. The moments where you don't feel like doing the work, but you push through anyway. It's always the ones that, actually lead to improvement. And it's just like entrepreneurship. The hardest and most stressful parts are always going to be where the growth occurs. You're never going to know if it's going to work out, and it does. Look, I was stressed about trying to win the school games and drop out of uni. Now, fast forward 60 days ago, look where I am, okay? Like, I'm looking around. It was so worth it, all right? Now, every time during your business and your journey, follow through no matter what. Whether it's making content, outreaching to the person, building a relationship, planning the future, it does not matter. When you're exhausted, that is when the real growth happens, all right? Now, speaking of that, never skip a day, all right? Never miss a day, because I'm telling you, you are going to miss the compounding effects and miss out. It's a snowball effect. One thing I learned at uni, you miss one lecture, you end up missing two, whatever, and it seems like you're months behind. Now, that goes to entrepreneurship. The consistency is just key. If you skip a lecture, or you skip a business task, or whatever it may be, you lose momentum and you break trust with yourself, and then you miss out on all potential opportunities. Because look, you are bound to get a lucky day, and if you never miss a day, you'll never miss that lucky day. And I fully believe it. The worst thing I did at uni was get comfortable, thinking it was easy or thinking I knew it all, because all of a sudden I slacked off and I paid the price, transparently. Now, the same goes, if not for entrepreneurship, even more. If you land a client and you sack off, you stop signing new deals, you don't provide enough value to current ones, you lose your reputation and you end up in a worse spot than you were before, all right? Always stay grounded. I'm a massive advocate of always pushing yourself, even when things are going well. It's essential to keep the compounding effects and actually maintain success, right? Now, lesson number 7, all right, surround yourself with high-level people. In university, I can't lie, during COVID especially, I always wanted to hang around with the smart people, so I could get the help I needed and any questions answered, alright? That's the truth. They have the ability to break it down and help me get to the next level way quicker. Now, the same goes for business, alright? Your network is everything. So if you can surround yourself with people ahead of you, this can be done just by providing some value in some way, and that's how you're going to get yourself in some doors, and then it's going to open up like crazy. Now, being around, high energy, killer entrepreneurs has elevated my own progress and does it daily. My network's generating new insights, allowing me to sign some crazy deals, and you're learning from people who've already achieved what you want and people who are connected to so many massive figures in the space. Now, surrounding yourself with those people is just going to push you to reach new heights. Your new norm and paradigm shifts instantly switch because they have to. Like, 7 figures a month for me feels like nothing, all right? I'm not 7 figures a month, but it doesn't feel like a lot of money because it's not, and that's just because of the way the people I've been surrounding myself with. All right, now lesson 8, your inputs are always going to dictate your outputs. Just like university, the only chance you have of doing well is if you actually, attend daily and you put in extra work. You can't expect to not attend and get a good result in the exam, Uni was just pretty much a how much can you remember game. So if you didn't spend hours wasting your life trying to remember the content that you were never going to use for the rest of your life, you had no chance. Your results in life are determined by the actions that you take, the input. If you put enough high quality work in, results will follow. Now, the same goes for entrepreneurship. So instead of obsessing over the results, focus on the goddamn process, knowing that the effort you put in today will lead to success down the road. It could be content, outreach, networking, whatever, okay? The inputs you get will dictate your results. Your inputs, the actions you take every day, are going to ultimately dictate the results that you achieve. Next, lesson 9, just trust and confidence in yourself, all right? The hardest thing is to build trust in yourself, and that trust can be so easily broken. Look, when you tell yourself that you're going to do something, whether it's waking up early, doing your uni work, studying, or working on your business, you need to follow through with yourself, or hitting the gym session. I don't care. When I did my own uni work, I felt confident in my ability a lot more to see results and my ability to take action. Don't get me wrong, I hated it. But if you don't, you're going to doubt your own reliability, and if you cannot keep a promise to yourself, how can you keep a promise to other people? Look, if you make a promise to your best friend or your family, whatever, you're never going to break that promise. But you frequently break promises to yourself. And that's what I learned. I need to stop doing that. And that is why people fail. This just erodes confidence. If you ever care about being successful, you need to build the utmost confidence and trust within yourself. And now, last but not least, the final lesson, go all fucking in. Now, for me, this was controversial, all right? Especially from the uni lesson. For me, during uni term, I would miss content throughout my time and during the semester, and this meant that, I didn't know enough of the full course to kind of revise it in time. So for me, I kind of went all in, which meant choosing a few topics out of like the 10 or 12, and committing to learning a few off by heart, and risking that it would kind of work out and they'd be in the exam. A lot of the time it did work out, but, then I had this mentality for entrepreneurship. I burned the boats and I fucking sent it. I took the risk, I left uni, and I went all in. I gave it everything I have. And from this, I got the results that I wanted. Now, you have to take risks in this game if you actually want to see results. Now, going all in meant that I'm no longer studying some bullshit at uni, wasting my life away, and instead, I'm at the School Games Winners Mansion talking about me, I want to go to LA, go to School HQ, and everything. Now, your life can change so much if you go all fucking in, don't look back, and just full fucking send it, alright? So, controversially, uni did have some benefits, I did learn some lessons, and maybe without it, I wouldn't be in the path that I was here today. But, I'm here for the school games. Hope you guys enjoyed the lessons, and soon, you guys will be flying in your entrepreneurship journey, and you're also going to be flying maybe in the school games too. Take care.